Good morning, guys. So today we discuss about this P6 Math Chapter 1 to 3 Revision Worksheet number 1. Okay, so please get your paper with you so that you can do correction or do revision with me together. Okay, so let's look at the first question. So section A, paper 1, booklet A. So here it says that simplify 5A minus 10 minus 2A plus 15. So as you know, every time we do simplification for this algebra, we always need to put the a together and we put the rest of the numbers together. So it will be here like this: 5a minus 2a minus 10 plus 15. Again, when we move the whole thing, move this, we always move with the sign together. Okay, so here will become 3a minus 10 plus 15. It will be, if you owe me $10 and I pay you $15, then you earn 5 extra dollars. So that's why the answer is 2. Okay, and the second one, here says that 4 to 7 is equal to 32 to something. And asking, then the question is asking that what's missing in the box. Okay, so as you know, you can see here 4 and this is 32. And this is 7 and this is something else. So 4, how to become 32? As you know, is times 8. If you doesn't know, this 32 divided by 4 and you should get 8. Then you know 7 times 8 is equal to what? 7 times 8 is equal to 56. That's why the answer is number 3. And the third question, express 2 3 over 8 as a decimal. Okay, so always I need you to remember a concept is that 4 times 25 is equal to 100 and 8 times 125 is equal to 1000. Okay, this is a very simple thing, but it's very important in helping you to solve the questions easily. Okay, so here 2 3 over 8, as you know, you times 125, you times 125, and here it becomes 2 375 over 1000. And as you know, if we have 3 0 here, we will move 3 times 1 2 3, and the dot is here, and it will be 2.375, and the answer is number 4. Okay, I will be going a bit quick, a bit faster, so that because it's something that you have learned. Okay, next question. Calvin and Susie baked some cookies in the ratio of 3 to 7. Okay, so Calvin baked 60 fewer cookies than Susie. How many cookies did they bake all together? So you know that Calvin is 3. Susie is, Susie is 7. Okay, and here say that Calvin is 60 fewer than Susie. That means that the 4 unit difference actually it represents 60. So if 4 unit is representing 60, 1 unit is representing 50. 60 divided by 4. Then 15 is 15. If 1 unit is equal to 15, all together is 3 plus 7 is equal to 10 unit, and that 10 unit is equal to 15 times 10, which is equal to 150. So the answer is number 3. Okay, so let's move on. So here in the number line below, what is the value of x as indicated by the arrow? Okay, so now you can see here, here is 3, here is 10. Let's check whether it is like in sequence, like 4 5 6 7. So 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Ooh, we can see that it's exactly the same. You know, this is 4 over 12, 5 over 12, 6 over 12, 7 over 12, 8 over 12, 9 over 12, and the last one is 10 over 12. And you can see that here is what? 8 over 12. But you know that if we write in fraction, we usually write in simplify, in the simplified version. Okay, so 8 over 12 we can divide by 4, we can divide by 4, and it should give you 2 over 3, and that's the answer for number 5, question number 5. And here, Rita had 5 over 8 kg of cookies. I have 5 over 8, yeah, 5 over 8 kg of cookies. And here the question says that she gave away 1/3 of it to her friend. How many kilograms of cookies did she give away to a friend? She gave away 1/3 to a friend. So you will times 103. And it will be 5/24. Because 8 times 3 equal to 24. 5 times 1 equal to 5. That's all. The answer is number 2. Okay, and here the questions continue. Section B1, paper 1, booklet B. He asks, what's the value of 5n plus 13/4 when n is equal to 11? So again, if n is equal to 11, and we know 5n is 5 times n, so here will be 5 times 11 plus 13 divided by 4. 5 times 11, 55 plus 13 divided by 4. 55 plus 13, 68 divided by 4. And if you're good, you can just simplify 1 to 7. So the answer is 70. So the answer is 70. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here it says, find the value of 11/12 divided by 1/3. Express your answer as a mixed number. Again, when we talk about mixed number, it's something like this. Okay, this is called mixed number, whereas you have a whole number beside the fraction. If you are something like this is called improper fraction. And if you have something like this is called proper fraction. Okay, this is all what you have learned. So here says that 11/12 divided by 1/3. Again, when you want to make this divide to become times, what you should do? You should switch the place between the numerator and the denominator. So here be times 3/1, and here should be 33/12. Okay, 33/12. Because 11 times 3 equal to 33, 12 times 1 equal to 12. And you need to know that 33/12 you can simplify. How can we simplify? We can divide by 3, become 11. We can divide by 3, become 4. And here will be 11/4. Again, the question is asking for mixed number. So 11/4, you should change it to become mixed number by times 2, and it become 8. 11 minus 8 is equal to 3, and the 4 is remaining 4. So here, the answer should be 2, 3/4. Let's continue. Okay, so here says that Sally spent 1/3 of her weekly allowance on lunch and 3/4 of the remainder on books. She has $8 left. What is her weekly allowance? So, how you do it? Okay, she spent 1/3 of her weekly allowance on lunch, which means that at first she has this amount of weekly allowance. This is weekly allowance, okay? Weekly allowance. And she spent 1/3 of it. So it's 1/3 of it, which means that this part on lunch, and this is the remainder. Is it okay? And now he says that 3/4 of the remainder is on books, which means that now I have 2 units and I need to make it become 4 units. So example, here is 2 units. I will just cut it into 4 units like this. Cut, cut. And as you know, if I cut the units here, I need to cut the rest also. And here says that 3/4 of the remainder on books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 units. And the 3 units is on books. And as you know, that this part will be the leftover. And here continue saying that, oh no, this is 3/4 of the remainder. Yes, so 3/4 should be like this. 3/4, yes, 1, 2, 3 units and 4. So this is spent on books. And now, as you know, this one will be the leftover. And now let's read the question. She has $8 left. Which means that now this part is $8. As I know, if 1 unit is equal to $8, Then what's the weekly allowance? We know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 units. So the weekly allowance will be 8 times 6, which is equal to $48. Okay, it will be $48. Okay, let's move on. That's now is section B2, paper 1, booklet B. So now, okay, a rectangle measure 14 meter by 8407 meter. Find the area of rectangle. So now you can just assume that okay, there's a rectangle, and the rectangle means like a measure 14 meter by 8407 meter. And now the question here is asking that the area of the rectangle. As you know, the area is what? Length times the breadth. Okay. And when you always see that 40 meter by this one, usually it means that this one is somewhere here and somewhere is here. Okay. It means that the length one is length, one is breadth. Okay. And here continue says that you need to find the area. And as you know, you want to find the area is 14 times 84/7. And this is where some of you confused, like it doesn't know how to times with a mixed number. Again, if you doesn't know how to times with a mixed number, then you should make it into a improper fraction. Okay, so how to make it into an improper fraction? 7 times 8, 56 plus 4, then it will become 60/7, and that is how you do it. And here you don't need to time straight away, you can just simplify first. 1, 2. So 2 times 60 is equal to 120 meters square. And that is the answer. Okay, again, remember that the question here is given meter and your answer should be meter square. And now the required answer is in meter square. So it's okay for you to straight away write the answer. But if the question is asking for cm square or km square, then you need to switch the unit. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so here says that to question number 2. 2/5 of Henry mass is equal to 3/4 of Ian's mass. Express Henry mass as a fraction of the total mass of both boys. So again, for this kind of question, let me just always ask you that you need to always be aware of the keyword here, equal. So here says that 2/5. I can draw the model here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here says that 2/5, which means that this part, okay, 2/5 is equal to 3. Now, I can draw my model like this, 3/4. This 2/5 is the same as the 3/4. Okay, with this, you should get the idea that, hey, I should make it the same. I mean that I need to make this one unit is exactly same as this one unit. So how? Again, the same thing that is always common that we need to use LCM. We need to find that 2 and 3. One is the LCM. And you're familiar with it, you should know is 6. So how? So these 2 units we need to cut in such a way to become 6. So I will cut into 3 parts. And for this one, 3 units I need to cut into 2 parts each so that it will become 6 units. And as you know, if you cut here, you need to cut the rest. And if you cut here, you need to cut the rest too. So now 1 unit I divide into 3 parts, so I'm doing the same thing here, the same thing here, the same thing here. And 1 unit I cut into 2 parts, so I'm cutting it into 2 parts too. So now here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I have this basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 units, but I cut into each unit, I cut into 3 parts. So it's 15. And 4 units, each unit I cut into 2 parts, so it will be 8. Okay. Now the question here is asking, express Henry mass as a fraction of the total mass of both boys. So Henry is 15. Both is 15 plus 8, because 15 plus 8, right, is equal to 15 over 23. And that is the answer. Okay, that's all for this question. Let's move on to the next question. So here says that, okay, A, B, C save the money in the ratio of A, B, C save the money in the ratio of 3, 5, 7. Now here says that the difference between the largest amount and the smallest amount is 52. Okay, now which one is the largest? 3, 5, and 7. Which one is the largest? Obviously, you know it's 7, right? Which one is the smallest? Obviously, you know it's 3. If they say the difference means what? Minus, right? So 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. And they say that the difference actually is 52, which means that the 4 unit that I have here is equal to 52. Now, let's look at the 1 unit is equal to what? If we divide 1 by 3, so it's equal to 13. Now, the question here asks, what is the amount that Brandon, which is the B, have saved? B is how many? 5. So 5 unit is equal to 13 times 5 and is equal to $65. And that's it for the question. Okay, it's a very simple revision question. 65. Okay, let's move on. Here, question number 4. Here says that Mrs. Tan baked 3W cupcakes in the morning. So in the morning, 3W. And she baked 3W plus 8 in the afternoon. Now here says that all together, which is all together, she baked 80 cupcakes that day. How many cupcakes did she bake in the morning? So if you know that this plus this should be equal to 80. So 3W plus 3W is equal to 6W plus 8 is equal to 80. With this, you should remember that plus 8, now you need to move on to this side, and it will be what? Plus minus, if you move across the bridge that you have here, it will be 80 minus 8. Then 6W is equal to 80 minus 8, 72. And W will be equal to, again, this is times. If you cross over the bridge, it will become divide. So W is equal to 72 divided by 6 and is equal to 12. And now the question here is asking, how many cupcakes did she bake in the morning? So morning is what? Morning here is 3W. So if W is equal to 12, 3W is equal to 12 times 3, which is equal to 36 cupcakes. That's all. Okay, so it should be good for you. Let's move on to our next question. So question number 5, here says that the figure below is made out of 3 triangles. So we have ABE, ADE, ADE, we have BCE, we have CDE, and we have, 3 triangles. Okay, and here say that ADC, ADC, and BCD is 2 identical right triangles. Okay, and here say that point E is the midpoint of line AC. This is the midpoint for line AC and line BD. Now, question here asks, each statement below is either true, false, or not possible to tell from the information given. Put tick in the correct column. Okay. In triangle BCE, BC is the base, saying that this is the base, and BE is the height. Okay, so BC is the base, this is the base, this is the height. Do you think it's possible? Okay, the answer is no. The answer is false. Straight away, you should know it's false. Why? Because the base and height, no matter what orientation is it, whether your base is like this, height is like this, whether this base this is high or height this is base, you should always remember that it should have a 90-degree hip, and that is called base and height. Is it clear? So when this is base, this part should be the height, and that's the one that's correct. Okay, and let's move on. The area of triangle CDE, which is this part, is 1/3 of the area of the whole figure. Okay, so the answer here is actually not possible to tell because we are not given that is this line and this line the same, or this the height is the same, so we doesn't know the exact value or exact measurement of the triangle, although it looks like, oh yes, it might be 1/3 of it, but we doesn't know the exact measurement, which we cannot really tell. Okay, let's move on. Question number 6. So here say that Afan had 7/8 kg of rice at first. So I have 7/8 kg of rice at first. Then he bought another 1/2 kg of rice. If I bought another 1/2, which means that I'm adding in 1/2. And here continue saying that and use 1/kg of the rice. Now I use away 1/5 kg of rice to cook porridge. How many kilograms of rice did he have left? Okay, express your answer in mixed number. Again, the question here is asking for mixed number. Now, how to solve this? No matter what is it, always need to make this mixed number to become improper fraction. So it's easier for us to add. So we can just put here 7/8 plus 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3/2 minus 1/5. Then now we need to worry about the denominator. This is given 8, 12, 8, 2, and 5. So 8, 2, and 5. The main thing again is we need to find the LCM of 8, 2, and 5. And you can actually find out that actually is 40. Okay? So 8, how to become 40? We times with 5. Then we times the numerator with 5. We need to times the numerator with 5. 2, we times 20, become 40. 3 times 20 become 60. 5 we times 8, 1 we times 8. So with this, we should get that 35/40 plus 60/40 minus 8/40. 35 plus 60 minus 8. Okay, so you should get 87/40. And now with this, you should now know how to make it into mixed number. So 40 times 2 become 80. So 87 minus 80 is equal to 7. And this 40 will be remain here. So the answer here is 27/40 kg. Okay. We are all doing the same revision again and again. So you should know that how to change it, how to find the LCM and everything. Okay. So now we'll be moving on to the section C, paper 2. Okay, section C, paper 2. So let's look at the question here. Here says that Tom has some $2 and $5 notes. Okay, example here I have $2 notes, I have $5 notes. He has twice as many $2 notes as $5 notes, which means that, example, if I have here 1, and because it's twice as many, so you have one more here. And now it's given that he has $504 altogether. I have $504 altogether. And how many $2 notes does he have? Okay, so you can see that this is the value for each. This is talking about the number or the quantity. And here is talking about the total value. And this is the sum of the total value. I mean the sum of these both lah. Okay. So here I have 2 unit of number of quantity. So the total value is 2 times 2 unit, which is equal to 4 unit. 5 times 1 unit is equal to 5 unit. And the addition of these two total unit, which give me the sum of the total value, which is equal to 9u is representing the 504. 1u is equal to 56. And here the question asks, how many $2 notes does he have? And you know that you have 2 unit. That's why 2 unit is equal to 56 times 2 and is equal to 112. Yeah, $2 notes. So the answer is 112 $2 notes. That's it. That's an answer for question number 1, section C. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 2, which is the question that most of you actually asked me. So here says that Kevin and Susie had some game cards at first. Kevin gave 1/4 of his cards to Susie. After that, Susie gave 1/5 of her cards to Kevin. In the end, Kevin had 45 cards and Susie had 36 cards. How many cards did Kevin have at first? Okay, so for these kind of questions, it's actually always good that you use the method of like reverse method, which means that you should know that like this, we have Kevin, we have Susie, and we start from the end to the front. That means that at the end, you know that there's 45 cards. There's 45 cards for Kevin, and you know there's 36 cards for Susie. And this is what in the end, right? And this happened after Susie give to Kelvin 1/5 of the cards. This happens after Susie give Kelvin 1/5 of the card. Which means that Susie at first actually have 5 units, but this unit she gave it to Kelvin. That's why this actually is already here. Okay, so this is supposed to be here, and it actually have given, so it's here already. Did you get what I mean? Because already give 1/5 to it, that's why it become here. So now Susie actually left 4 units, and because 1/5, right? You give her 1/5, you have 4 units left. That's why now you know that these 4 units actually representing 36. These 4 units actually representing 36. And we know that 1 unit it actually represent 9. Which means that here you have 9, 9, 9, 9. And you know that the unit 1/5 unit that you give away actually is 9 also. And here 45 is a total for Kevin. And 9 unit is given by Susie. So you know that Calvin actually, before that actually have 45 minus 9, which is 36. And you know that this is 36. Okay, and let's look at here. This happens after you give 1/5 to Kevin, right? So if you move on, go back to this situation when Calvin gave Susie 1/4 of the cards. If it's before that, then you should know that Susie actually that time have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 unit, which means that this 9 actually going backwards. So here we have 45, which is 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. And here actually left with what? Left with only 36. And here says what? Kevin give 1/4 of his card to Susie. That means that what happened here is after Kevin gave 1/4 of his cards to Susie. That means that here initially have one more thing, but this have been given to Susie. Which means that if I have given 1/4 to Susie, which means that initially this actually have how many parts? 3 parts of it. So 1, 2, 3. So that 3 unit actually representing 36. And that 1 unit actually representing 12. Now, the question here asks, how many cards did Kevin have at first? Remember here, this happens after Kevin gave 1/4 of his cards to Susie. Which means that before that, actually Kevin have exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Okay, that's why here actually is 4 units is equal to 12 times 4 and is equal to 48 cards. That's all. Again, because this is after Kevin gave Susie 1/4 of his cards, which means that initially Kevin is supposed to have 4 units here. Okay, that's why we know that 3 units is equal to 36, 1 unit is equal to 12. That's why 4 units is equal to 12 times 4, which is 48. Okay, so I hope you get the concept. And let's move on to question number 3. So question number 3. So here says that the total mass of Alvin, Brian, or ABC, let me just make it short, ABC, the total is 4n plus 9 kg. The mass of Alvin is 2n kg. So the mass of Alvin, or A, is 2n. And the mass of Brian is half of Alvin's. So we say Brian is half of Alvin. So you should know that Brian or B is more or A is more. You should know that A is more. So Brian is half of it. That's why 2n divided by 2, Brian or B actually should have n. So now you know this one plus this one plus this one should give you this one. If you want to find the mass of Kevin, C, which means that I need to use 4n plus 9 minus 2n minus n. So what I will do is 4n plus 9 minus 2n minus n. Again, 4n minus 2n is equal to 2n. 2n minus n is equal to n. So n and this plus 9 left over, it will be plus 9. And the answer is n plus 9. So here's n plus 9. That's all for A. And here continues B, question number B. Given that n is equal to 35, what is the mass of Kevin? So Kevin is n plus 9, right? So n is 35 plus 9, and that's equal to 44 kg. That's all for this question. So I can write here down n plus 9 kg, and here writes 44 kg. Okay, and I saw a lot of you actually answering this question. You put like this 1n plus 9 kg. Actually, you don't need to write this 1. Yeah, okay. Just write n plus 9 should be fine already. Let's move on. Question number 4. Okay, so let's move on to question number 4. This question. So here says that a fruit seller put some apples and oranges into box A and box B. Box A and box B. So we have box A and we have box B. So here say that the ratio of the number of fruits in box A to B is 8 to 5. 8 to 5. And the ratio of number of apples to the number of oranges in box A is 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is apples, this is oranges. And 7/10 of the fruits in box B are apples. So now you know that this 7 is apples, and how many is for oranges? Because 7/10 of the fruits, which means that this part is 3. And here continue saying that there are 72 oranges in box A. Find the number of oranges in box B. So do not worry. So the first thing here is we need to make all the ratio to become logical. What's mean by logical? Look at here. 7, 3 become 5. 7 plus 3 is equal to what? Is equal to 10. So we need to make these to become 10. How to do it become 10? We times with 2. So here it become 10. And if we times 2 here, we need to times 2 here. That's why here it become 16. And here, 1 times 3 is equal to what? 4. 4 how to become 16? We times with 4. So 1 times with 4, and here it become 4. 3 times with 4, it become 12. So now everything is become logical. 12, 10. Under 12 is 4 plus 12. That's equal to 16. Very good. 10 is equal to 7 plus 3, which is equal to 10. At the same time, 16 to 10, if you simplify it, actually 8 to 5. Which means that the whole thing here now is logical. Okay, and here continues. There are 72 oranges in box A. Box A is oranges, 72, which means that this 12 unit actually here is what? Is equal to 72. This 12 unit is equal to 72. Then 1 unit is equal to what? 1 unit is equal to 6. Now, the question here asks, find the number of oranges in box B. Oranges in box B, which is 3. Then we can just find 3 unit is equal to 6 times 3, which is equal to 18 oranges. That's all. Okay, so let's move on here. And here we are right, 18 oranges. Okay, very simple. So we have done the questions and you can check the answer key here. Now, I've asked you the opinion about comment. So if you feel that it's hard, then you can write here hard. If you feel that you can improve yourself, you can improve yourself. Okay. And just for information, please get a piece of green, a green pen basically to do your correction. Whether I've marked your paper or whether I haven't marked your paper, please make sure that you get a pen, green pen, to do your correction. After that, you can submit back to me and I will check your paper and your worksheet. Okay? And just remind you that your worksheet number 2 are available online in Google Classroom. So please complete it during your term 1 holiday. Okay? All the instruction for this worksheet number 2 has been given to you in the classroom, and also I've written it down in the Google Classroom. Okay? So thank you so much for paying attention, and we will have our worksheet number 3 explained later on in the video. Thank you, and hope you have a good holiday. Bye bye.